Go.
And welcome back to another podcast. We are live a day late, but we are live. No sugar, no cream. Back at it again. I am on another cruise. Tim is still back in the wonderful Nashville area. And we are here to fill your head full of information that will change the world. Or not. And we'll go from there. But just having a good time on the cruise. Cruising along. It's a little rocky today. In fact, you can probably notice that if you're looking at my camera, like most of you are on Facebook. Please subscribe. Appreciate it if you like our page, and like it and share it with your friends so more people can see our wonderful faces. Yeah, you can kind of see that I'm rocking a little bit because I have what is it? One of those stabilizing things. I finally I bought something that I forgot what they're called. So it stabilizes.
The technical gimbal. They call them a gimbal.
I got a gimbal too, and it has an app that works with it too. It's kind of cool. It like will follow you wherever you walk. I'll show you.
I want to see that when you get back because I'm going to get one for myself.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I got it off TikTok, which usually you can't get a gimbal for less than $100. So I think I got this one for like
I don't know if I'm ever going to buy stuff from the TikTok shop again. There's so much fraudulent stuff on there. I mean,
have you run into fraudulent stuff?
Yes, I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess I've gotten lucky then because I haven't got anything fraudulent.
I've had successful, things as well, but I'm,
what freaks me out? Instagram. I always feel like I'm looking at fake stuff so much on Instagram.
Maybe I'm combining the two, conflating the two in my mind. It might have been an Instagram. Yeah. Instagram might be where I had the fake stuff, so I might be conflating in my mind.
What I like about Instagram is that you can support creators for one thing, and then you'd buy directly through them, and they get a commission. So that's kind of neat. And then you see them using it. They show you how they use it and why they like it and stuff. So it kind of sells itself. You see somebody using it, and there's people making good livings right now off of TikTok. So I'd hate to see it go, but so how are things back in the old Nashville area there, sir?
Well, I'm gonna.
Should I sit down?
Yeah, we had a. I don't know if I should say this on the podcast. Maybe I should tell you privately, but we had one of our partners get arrested, and he's in jail right now. So, yeah,
that's not fun. Yeah. That's not cool. All right, well, maybe we should talk about that after. Okay.
So we found he was doing drugs. We had no idea. How did he hit it so well? And they had he did it on text messages. I mean, if you're gonna buy drugs, you would think he wouldn't send
text messaging. Nobody will miss it.
Bring an 8-ball by the house and get your address. And I mean, that's not very smart.
I thought he just wanted to play pool.
So I guess they had this whole sting going on for like 2 months or something.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we had no idea, absolutely no idea. I guess there's functioning alcoholics. I guess there are functioning drug addicts or drug users.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe, cocaine is an upper. So, they say you can tell a meth head, their house is impeccably clean. You ever heard that? Because they're, it's an upper and cocaine is, I guess, I know nothing about that drug world. I know nothing about it. I am so innocent. I know nothing about the drug world, but
it's going to be a little awkward if we hire a cleaning lady and we say only meth heads. I feel like plus and minuses. There's plus and minuses.
Yeah, I mean,
Mr. Timmel, the kitchen is impeccable.
Well, I remember when we were looking at buying a property, a 5-unit in Indiana, and one of the apartments was impeccably clean, and the woman was kind of fidgeting. She was there when we toured because the person who owned the apartment building was touring and had permission from some of the tenants to go visit, to go look at the apartments. And we went to this. It was on the second floor. I remember distinctly. We walked in, and the apartment was incredibly spotless. And the woman was there. She was kind of fidgeting as we walked out. My partner Jimmy, who's more aware of these things, he said she's on meth. I'm like, I had no idea. I'm so oblivious, you know. And so her apartment was probably one of the cleanest apartments I've ever seen. So there's evidence right there. I saw it firsthand. So, and I heard, fentanyl is a big thing now. Fentanyl,
Oh my goodness.
Tiny little speck of fentanyl can kill you.
I don't understand why people literally choose to even take it. I mean, mostly it's laced with stuff. But
here's the thing. Here's the thing about fentanyl, as I understand it. Again,
speak to me, Dr. Wolf.
So the reason fentanyl is being used, okay, cocaine, you have to grow a plant, right? You have to grow a
coca leaf.
No,
I think it's called coca leaf, right?
Marijuana. It's not a leaf. Or is it a leaf? It's a poppy plant.
I think so. Coca leaf. I thought. I could be wrong. I don't know this stuff very well.
It's pretty sure it's poppy. Well, we'll Google that. But
I mostly just do ibuprofen.
So you have to farm it and you have to process it, and there's cost there. Mm-hmm. But fentanyl is so easy to make. Apparently, this and so cheap that as a business, the drug people, the drug cartels, they've switched everything to fentanyl because their cost of product. I mean, it is a business for them. They do have cost of goods.
Why are they killing off all their customers?
That's the downside. There's a downside. Cost of goods goes down to almost zero.
Customers.
But yeah, negative, no repeat customers. Cocaine.
If you're looking at the screen, if anybody's looking at the screen, they can see how it just tilted because the ship tilted and it's trying to keep it even. Yeah, we're rocking pretty good. I guess it's supposed to chill out later today, but
yeah, here's a picture of a guy holding the plant. I don't know if you can see that. I just Googled that. I mean, that's DEA. That's from the DEA. Apparently, that is a poppy plant. Derivatives include morphine, codeine, heroin, and oxycodone.
Wow, the DEA has sure changed up their uniform. Huh.
But you have to farm it. Farming has a cost. You have to plant it. You have to farm it. You have to process it. But fentanyl is apparently infinitesimally less expensive, and so the cost of goods is like if it was 100 before, now it's 0.1. Or I'm making up that number, but I mean just unbelievably. And so they're selling their product for the same price, and their cost of goods is so low that they're minting money. And so what I've heard is that now, let's see, how did he say it? If you're buying cocaine, and again, I know nothing about that world. And in fact, I've been with friends and like this woman, he said that person was high. And I'm like, really? I'm oblivious. I don't see it. I don't know it. I've never been around it. Anyway.
Yeah. When we're at home and there's an 8-ball involved, we're literally playing pool.
Yeah. We have a pool table there. We need to play more pool when you get back, by the way.
I know we do.
Anyway, so what I was told is that if someone is buying cocaine, they're probably buying meth today. And if they're buying meth, they're probably buying fentanyl. So what is considered cocaine is just meth. Because I guess it looks the same. I have no, I didn't even know. What does meth look like? I guess I know cocaine is a white powder because I was around in the 80s and I remember the closest I came to it, I was in upstate New York and I went into the bathroom in a bar and there was some lines of Coke on top of the cigarette machine. And I was like, I was so freaked out about it. Because I'd never been that close to the actual drug. What does this mean? I don't want to be near this. I don't want to be arrested. Whatever. I was
that would check me up. Walking into a place and see just some lines. Yeah, that would.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if somebody was doing it or there was somebody in the bathroom. I don't remember. And there was a cigarette machine. That's all different times. Cigarette machines. They're not as common. People don't smoke like they used to. So there's another indicator.
Definitely not in the U.S.
What's that?
What was that? Definitely not in the U.S.
It wasn't in the men's room. It was just outside the men's room, I think, come to think of it.
Was it when we were in Turkey, or not Turkey, but just Turkey? Well, others. When we were overseas, in Europe, there was a lot more smoking, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. They smoke so much more in Europe. So much more. And there's different parts, like Madison, Indiana. This is where our businesses are in Madison, Indiana. And when I go up there, I'm amazed. They smoke. There's so much more smoking going on there. And I'm all in disarray. I should have had my hat. But anyway,
look at mine.
Anyhow, I noticed there's so much more smoking. And I remember I thought I was back in the 70s because there's a pickup truck driving by downtown and the windows are down. It's summer and two young women are in the pickup truck, one on either side. And what they're doing is they've got their hand hanging out of the window with the cigarette in the hand. So the driver's side is our left hand and the other one is the passenger side is the right hand. And they're like, we're cool. We're smoking. And I'm like, man, I haven't seen that since, that's something because other than Madison, Indiana, as far as I know in the U.S., people not that common. I mean, you're lucky you find one young person smoking, let alone two in the same vehicle. So,
right.
But Europe, no doubt, much, much higher level of smoking than in the U.S. based on empirical evidence, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and still in a lot of those countries, I think they put like those gross ads on there or like gross warnings of people with lung cancer, like on the
package. Well,
packages.
If you're nicotine is addicting. I mean, it's you're physically addicted to it. You try to, like you try to lose weight, which I'm trying to restrict my calorie intake. I want when I get on that boat, December, whatever it is. I'll the first time. Now you'll be back, but when I get on those, my goal. I want your brother and my sister, my brother-in-law. I go, who is this? I'm like,
I mean, you're looking great, man. I mean,
thank you. Well, I'm working on it anyway. So I'm working on it. But anyway, so food, it's hard to constrict, restrict eating food is what I'm trying to say. But it's not addictive. Food is not addictive. I don't care what people say. It's not physically addictive. Nicotine is. It's physically addictive. It's a whole different level. I mean, your body has to have it. Food, we want it because it tastes good, but it's not addicting. There's by definition, and drugs are addicting as well, I guess. Heroin, for example, all of those.
Yeah, you do it once and like you're hooked. I was like, I've smoked some cigarettes just like casually with friends. And I was like, I never found anything addictive about it, of course, but like. I mean, you probably have to get into it, but
I think you're right. Heroin one time and you're addicted. It's possible. It's nasty, nasty.
Oddly enough, for the most part, I mean, I really don't have much of an addictive personality. I get bored with things pretty easily.
That people have addictive personalities. That's
that's
a thing. It's a small percentage of people who have addictive personalities. So it hits. It hits.
That would be interesting to look up. What is the percentage of people that have addictive personalities?
None.
Let's Google that. That's interesting. And so I'll just get into a little bit of talk about cruise a little bit. Update everybody.
Yeah, please do.
It is day 2. I was totally confused about what day it was. I was thinking you said, "Hey, podcast time." We were supposed to do it on Tuesdays, and today's Wednesday, of course. And I thought yesterday was Monday. I was just thrown off, and the hour change is a kind of a trip, anyways. But
so we do have some regulars who were waiting.
Yes. And, so I apologize.
Randy,
please.
You're on this one. Our apologies to you. He sends me a message and he says a little bit after 5, aren't you doing a podcast today? I felt bad, Randy. I'm sorry. Thank you for being such a loyal viewer.
It's my fault. Appreciate it.
It is your fault.
It is my fault. It's my fault. I'm a horrible person.
No, you're not. No, you're not. But you're on a cruise.
So dedicated to no sugar, no cream.
So you're 2 hours ahead. What time is it there now?
Yes, 2 hours. At one point, we had pushed it 3 hours ahead. We had to change our clocks forward another hour, then we pushed it back. But right now, I am 2 hours ahead of you, behind you.
Correct.
Five.
It's 5:15. It's 3:15 there.
Yes. Yes, sir. So we started the new cruise. We're headed to Hawaii yesterday. That was day one.
What was your changeover? What port was your changeover?
In Seattle. We just where we started. Easy peasy yesterday morning. We didn't have to get off the ship. They just checked us in, checked us out. It was a little odd even. They didn't even look at our passports, so I don't know what was up with that. That was a little weird. Seattle's a little chill.
Nice. So did you so you didn't even explore Seattle because you were still on the ship, right?
Oh, but we had been here like 3 days before, so remember we went.
That's right. You went to the Needle and the you went to Mount Rainier. Yeah, you did a bunch of fun stuff.
The trip to Mount Rainier started early in the morning. The 2 days before the cruise, and that was amazing. We were like started like at 6. We had to be there like at 6:30, and it was funny because the guy that was he looked like Tim Green. If anybody knows who Tim Green was, Tom Green, the comedian, had a show, Tom Green Show in the 90s. But his energy was hilarious. Like he was so upbeat, and it's like we're all like half asleep. Like it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and we drove 2 hours, and he's giving us all kinds of information and stuff, and it was amazing seeing the mountain was amazing. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Just like there's like no protection in a lot of places. You could just one jerk and we're all dead of him with the wheel. One jerk of the wheel and we're all going into it. Yeah, we were going around the edges. The mountain was amazing. You see the snow in areas, see the snow tops, the spots. We saw it looked like a baby, maybe a little bit older, a bear ran across about 50 feet in front of us and then took off up this rocky cliff spot. And he went so quick, we couldn't even grab our phones fast enough to catch a picture of it. He went so fast. So, but that was fun.
On TikTok and whatnot, I see a lot of videos of bears. And I know the personalities are different between the black bear and the brown bear and the grizzly. Grizzlies are aggressive. And I don't remember one of them is really chill. In some of these videos, these bears seem like oversized dogs. They just seem so funny. Some of the videos that I've seen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The best videos is where the bear like waves. Or somebody throws something and he catches it. Like, thanks.
I know it.
Bye, guys. Hope you find your dad.
Yeah.
Name that movie. Name the movie that's from.
I don't know. Tell me.
That is from. We had. It's funny that I say that because we had a discussion. Dangle had the movie wrong. He thought it was from one movie and it's from another. It's from Elf. It's from Elf. When Elf is leaving the North Pole, the Will Ferrell says it. No, the sea creature comes out because Will Ferrell's looking for his dad. The sea creature comes out and says, "I hope you find your dad." It's like a sea creature with like a horn or something. I forgot what they're called.
Well, it says was it also the voice of the narwhal?
Narwhal, yes, it's a narwhal. Yes. He says, "Hope you find your dad." That was a quick search. Oh, by the way, were you able to find the percentage 16%. Of people?
It didn't say what percent have addictive personalities, but According to the 2023 United States National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 16.7% of Americans aged 12 years and older battle substance use disorder in the last year.
Okay, just even substance.
16%. Yeah. So is it possible to have an addictive personality? I mean, I
would say if you have the substance abuse issue, that there's a good chance that you have an addiction issue.
Well, hold on a second. But it says within the field of substance abuse, it is now widely admitted that the addictive personality does not exist. So now they're saying that there is no such thing as an addictive.
Oh my God! In 2 years, they'll change that. It's one of those bullcrap things. Oh my God!
Well, if you're, my sister has a PhD, but the academic, that's a whole different world. When you get into academia, it's a different world, and you got to find reasons to exist. You got to find reasons to make new research and publish new papers, and so there's always got to be new findings. You can't just leave things lay where they are, otherwise you don't have any reason for exercising and using your PhD. I mean, I don't mean to say that negatively, but
that's part of the stupidest one that changes every 3 years. The amount of time that is allowed before eating, before you're allowed to swim, it changes every 3 years. It's 10 minutes. It's 15 minutes. It probably should be 30 minutes. Just jump in the water.
Okay, so how long does it take for the boat to get from Seattle to Hawaii? That's 3 days at least, probably 4 days. Okay.
But so we have 3 days at sea, I think. So is that the first? Yeah. So I think it's about 4 days. It takes about 4 days, I think. Yeah.
And then where do you dock? Do you dock in Honolulu, or where's the dock?
I don't even know the stops. I mean, I could. I don't want to. It would black the screen if I look at something else on my phone. So I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't even know what the stops are.
Do you know how many stops you have?
It's got to be at least 3 or 4, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not more. Probably more.
Really, I've been to Hawaii, but I've never really.
So my bad as far as sea days to. So it might be as many. What's that?
The last time I was in Hawaii, I think it scarred me, and I've never gone back. So I was
really?
young.
Yeah, you've never even told me. I didn't even know that you had been to Hawaii.
So I was in my 20s and late 20s, and I got in this job with DuPont where I traveled to Asia all the time. That's when I started doing all my business travel. I was responsible for selling engineering plastics to the footwear industry. And so I was calling on Nike and Reebok and New Balance and all the brands. And I was traveling the world, going to these. I mean, what an opportunity it was for a guy in his late 20s, going all around the world, traveling. And so at that time, the shoes were being made in Taiwan and Korea primarily. And now they're being made. Although I did, Busan, Korea, South Korea was a big one. And I did see an article about they're still making shoes there. Somebody had a whole container hijacked, and they were coming from Busan. Anyway, there's a lot of fraud in the industry. And this company, small company, and this container was like all they had, and they had these promotions going that they were going to sell these sandals or some kind of sandal and special kind of design, and they were all excited about it. And it got offloaded, and they've got the fraud where they switch the container, and the wrong person picks up the container and puts it on a truck to haul it to the center of the U.S. where it's going. And they stole the container, and they were selling it on eBay for a fraction of the price because it didn't cost them anything. And this company almost went bankrupt, and they reported it, and they said there's almost no enforcement of that. And there's also the insurance will only pay you the price for what it cost. But that's not what you lost. You lost the opportunity to sell that. You made all this promotion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cost involved. So it could put a small company under if all you get back is the cost of the product, maybe 1 year later. The markup is you're probably selling it for at least double of what it cost you to make it, because you got all the costs of design and promotion and all that. Anyway, that's an aside. So I was coming back from Asia, and at the time, my friend, his wife, had a pen pal in Hawaii, and she said, "Oh, you should stop in Hawaii and see my pen pal." And I'm like, "Okay, sure."
Yeah.
Did I tell you the story?
No. But that just seems that would put you in a kind of weird situation. It's not your pen
Well,
pal.
I mean, I was here for it. I mean, I'm an easygoing guy. Adventure.
Yeah.
So I don't remember, did I rent a car or whatever? And there's a lot of Japanese Americans living there, or even Japanese nationals. And this was a Japanese family. And I don't know if they're American citizens or Japanese. And I have pictures. I found the pictures recently. And I went to their house. I remember having to take my shoes off to get into the house because I'd never, after that, I became intimately familiar with Japan. I lived in Japan for 2 years, spoke Japanese, but at that point in time, I had never experienced Japanese culture. And, take the shoes off. And it was like I was there to be matched with their daughter and we were going to get married. That was the vibe I got. They're taking pictures with me and she's all excited and the girl is all excited and the family's all excited. And I'm like, what is going on here? And I was supposed to be there for 3 days. I bugged out after 1 day and paid extra to come back early. Oh, it was traumatic. And I remember telling my buddy's wife, I said, this woman's crazy. She's cray-cray. And she apologized, said, because you never met her. They were just pen pals. But whatever they thought that beautiful? It was like,
was she not? Was she a butterface?
What's that?
Was she a butterface?
I don't know what a butterface is. What is that?
An unattractive face.
I was not attracted to her.
Yeah.
I mean,
now how confusing!
I'm just
how
going to
weird
say
would
that.
it be?
I'm not the final judgment if she's attractive or not, but I was not attracted to her, at all. Not in even a little bit. And it was just weird.
But it's also gonna be weird even if she's hot. Like, I mean, it's just gonna be like just getting this girl get thrown with this family you don't know. Like, you're visiting.
I was supposed to spend 3 days there, and it was like,
did she have an explanation for this? Why this went down like this?
Like, my buddy's wife? No, she just said she didn't know. She didn't know it was going to be like that.
So, what was there a comment to the pen pal about how it went? Like,
I don't remember.
To marry
me. A long time ago. It was a long time ago. I don't remember. This was obviously long before the internet. So. The pre-internet. So there was no email, there was no Googling, none of that existed. So a pen pal, you send a letter and like 2 weeks later it gets there, all the way to Hawaii, I suppose. And so the communication, and if you do a phone call, it's international and it's expensive. You don't do a phone call,
you're blowing some millennials' minds right now. You're blowing some millennials. What? Everything isn't instant? Everything isn't instant? Oh my gosh.
And there was no such thing as a cell phone. Didn't exist. So,
a landline? Did you have to have land? Did you own land to do that?
So I found a picture. I found a picture of me with that family. And I'll dig it up. Maybe I'll show it next podcast.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. That would be great. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I found it. And I think you can see from the expression, my expression and her expression. And yeah, I was like, what am I getting myself into?
Oh, yeah, I can see your face. Oh, that's hilarious. How old? You said you were in your 20s? You're working for...
Late 20s, probably 28 maybe. Okay. I'm going to guess. Wow. 29, 28, 29.
I was
getting match made up and I didn't even know it.
Have you been at any music events lately? Or how did your music thing go?
Haven't I talked to you since we did my gig?
No.
I'm sure we did because it's been. I thought we talked last. Didn't we do our last podcast? Didn't we talk? It went well. It went quite well.
Wait, what is today?
Jimmy was there. It was on the 13th. Today is the 25th. 5th.
So we must
So
do.
the last one would have been the 18th. Well, the last one we did would have been about the 17th. It was like a few days after.
I guess I slept since then.
Yeah, so it went really well. I mean, I had a new. What's that?
My apologies.
No worries.
We had to have talked about it unless we just
We did. We did. We did talk about it.
Did-
So
we did.
what we're doing, and by the way, here's some new news. So my new song Stephanie came out. We talked about that.
Stephanie.
Yes,
Mhm.
and
You're gonna get that song
never
stuck.
know. You never know how songs.
Everybody go watch it on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify, whatever your favorite streaming channel, and you never know how a song's going to do. In fact, I remember one industry guy says you'll never know a hit song. For God's sakes, the Monster Mash went to #1. You ever hear the Monster Mash? The Halloween song. Dude, the Monster Mash.
Yeah.
It went to #1. It's like a goofy, weird song. Anyway, so his idea was this industry professional. He said, you never know what's going to be a hit. And so, but I thought that this song was good. And so I put it out and I made some reels of it. And one reel of the verse where let's go to Saratoga and watch the horses race, win or lose, I'm still winning as long as I can see your face. That's I did the entire.
Now I want to go to Saratoga. Is there a lot of horse races there?
Yeah, they have some of the big horse races I think it's in August, I do believe. Anyway, that reel organically, no promotion, I mean, no advertising, is over 21,000 views. For me, that's blowing up. My average reel on Instagram gets 500 to 1,500. This is awesome, 21,000 so far. Now, the other reels of the song are back to the norm, but that particular part of the song. So here we go. So I posted how many reels? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like there's 5 reels. 5 different reels of that song. And here are the views. Well, the first one was 6,600. That's good. The next one was 1,200. Then the one I'm telling you about is 21.7K. And then the last two, 812 and 525. So, it's all over the map. But I thank every single person who watched, even the one that only got 525. But 21,700, that's a huge win for me. In my world, that's going viral for me.
No, it's awesome. Yeah, it's great. That's awesome, Tim.
Sweet. Yeah, thank you.
Tim Wolf, back at it again.
Yes.
Back
and I got another song. I got another song coming out this Friday, and it's called Curse of the Silent Muse. And it's a tongue-in-cheek about writer's block. I mean, I don't believe, it's about the muse. The song talks about, where's my muse? You've left me. Did I insult you? Did I make you cry? Why have you left me? I can't write. Blank white pages looking back at me. It's a whimsical. It's tongue in cheek because actually I really don't feel that I struggle from writer's block. I've got so many ideas, unless the writer's block is concerning finishing the song. So Rick Rubin is one of the greatest producers. He's produced so many artists. If you've heard of him as a producer, he looks kind of like Santa Claus. He's got a big white, and his hair is white now. Big white beard. He came out with a book called The Art of How to Be an Artist, Art of Being, or something like that. I don't remember the name of the book, but he talked about there's 4 when you're creating art. There's 4 stages. And it could be music art, could be a book, could be a poem, could be a short story, could be visual art. The first one is the seed, the idea. Then there's the exploration of the idea. How are we going to flesh out this idea? And the third one is crafting it. That's where you take the ideas and the experimentation of it, and you actually bring it into a form. Like if you're writing a book, I mean, you write a book, a novel, and one of my favorite movies is Sideways. and the protagonist is an author, and he's trying to get his book published. And he meets this woman, and they have a romantic relationship, or they have some attraction, and she agrees to read his book. And he brings this whole box he's got it typed out, and he gives her the box. Here's my book. And she's going, oh, it's a whole box. It's like probably 1,000 pages probably. And he gives it to her, and he said, just wait. And he goes back to his car, and he gets another box the same size. So, way too big. Would never make it. So you got to cut that down. If you got too much material, you got to cut it down. And that's what the crafting. And you have to form it into an actual form that is going to be workable. And then there's completion. So the hard work, and when it's no longer fun for me, is the last two. I have so many that are in the seed or the exploration stage, where I have like an idea for a song, like a one line, or I have an entire chorus maybe, but I need 2 verses to go with it, and maybe a bridge. Or maybe there's something called the curse of the second verse, where you're writing a song, you have a first verse written, you have the chorus written, but you can't for the life of you come up with that second verse. Where do you go after that? It's called the curse of
the yeah.
Hey, Jimmy and I were talking. You know the song? You go to sporting events, and the song, the hate song.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Not that one. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see.
Which I'm pumped after this next cruise. I'm going to I got my ticket to go to Seattle Thursday night game before I fly back on the next day. I see the Seattle Seahawks and the 49ers.
Can you hear this? It's called Rock and Roll Part 2. It's played at so many sporting events.
Oh, yeah. Somebody try and copyright us. You copyright us. Go for it. We don't care. Let it roll.
Anyway, Jimmy and I were talking today, and I don't know, we got on that subject, and he said, that had to have been just a jam session thing. And so I looked it up. I found who did it, and it's a guy, the artist's name is Gary Glitter from England, and it came out in 1972. And guess what? There's a Rock and Roll Part 1, and Rock and Roll Part 2, 2 singles that came out. And where they came from, the band had a jam session, and they had the recording going, and they just had 15 minutes of just jamming. And they took that. That's where the third part of the seed exploration crafting, the crafting part. They took that and carved that down to 2 singles. So each single is maybe 3 minutes long. I don't know. And so they took those 15 minutes and carved it down to about 5 minutes roughly and released it. But there was no writing involved. It was just jamming, just loose. And now, how many years later? We're talking 50 some years later. Everybody knows that song, and it really wasn't
that old.
Something thought out. It was like, hey, I'm going to write a song. What are the lyrics? Hey, hey, hey.
I'm loving it. Yes, yes.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. You had me at hey.
You think that can be a hit, Mr. Producer?
Definitely. That's probably not what they said.
No, that's not how it happened. That's not how it happened. They were just jamming, and nobody came up with the idea. He didn't come to the session. Hey, I got a great idea for a song. I'm ripping off my buddy Jimmy.
That's awesome.
Dialogue. He was saying that. No, he didn't come to the session saying, hey, I got these great lyrics. Hey, hey, hey. No, that's not how it worked. So that just happened that way. And that was probably the only hit they ever had, Gary Glitter. And here's the interesting part. That's not his name.
And that's why you say your name during the song, like Jason Derulo, because nobody ever knows who you are. But you make the biggest hit. Nobody knows who you are. That song's everybody knows this. There's hey.
Okay, I'm going to talk about this because this is hilarious. The guy's name is Paul Francis Gadd, and he wanted to come up with an artist's name. He was part of the glam movement, so he wanted to come up with a name. And so he says, I need to have, alliteration is where you take the first letter of the words and you that's what alliteration is, like Gary Glitter, GG. So he, see if I can find this because I was reading this. It was so funny. How he came up with the name. He was coming up with he was just consciously going through different alliterations through the entire alphabet and some of the other names that he had. See if I can find it. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. Well, he had one was Tinsel something with the T. Some are just really goofy names that he came up with, and he ended up with Gary Glitter. And that was during the glam rock era. The early 90s or early 70s, glam rock was a big thing. So. Oh, here we go. As the glam movement took off in 1971, Gadd adapted the new stage name Gary Glitter, which he devised by playing alliteratively with letters of the alphabet, working backwards from Z. Other options include Terry Tinsel, Stanley Sparkle, and Vicky Vomit. Do you think he picked the right one? Terry Tinsel, Vicky Vomit.
Oh my God. You know what? To wrap up this podcast, I feel like I probably should prove that I am on a cruise.
Okay, yeah, do it, man. Do it.
And while we talk a little bit more, I think I'm going to head to the top deck or head upstairs. Because
wonderful idea. In fact, we should do this next week too.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing the podcast from a different location, but I was like, oh, where is it going to be?
Next time, can you do it up on top of the deck? Don't do it in your room. Do it on top of the deck.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. I'm gonna make sure. Grab a couple things, but anyways, yeah, we'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking a little bit more, and I'm gonna head out of here in just a second. But yeah. What was I gonna say? But
you leave your room. You have your key, right? So you can get back in.
yeah, it'll be fun. Well, in fact, after this, I'm gonna just go straight to the hot tub. That's where I was before this. I'm like itching it. That's one of our favorite things to do. I really haven't talked about too much life. The dance club has been completely empty, so we haven't been doing that, of course. What would you call last cruise, Tim? You would call the geriatric cruise. There was no young people at all.
Yeah, the first cruise I'd ever cruised in my life.
Yeah.
And Seth talked me into my good nephew talked me into
we booked 10 days before the cruise.
We booked it. It was a last minute. It was the first more than 7-day cruise, more than 5-day cruise you ever did. So it kind of broke the mold because you'd only done shorter cruises, and this was a 7-day cruise. We got it at a discount. And after that, you said, hey, I remember doing a 5-day again. And because it wasn't hardly any more money, and we get on the cruise, and we were out of New Orleans. We were out of New Orleans, or were we out of Texas?
We were out of New Orleans, buddy. We went on a cruise.
Super Bowl Sunday. We went on Super Bowl Sunday, and they were playing.
The Super Bowl was happening in New Orleans.
In New Orleans, yeah. When we got on the
crazy,
yeah. Anyway, and so there were a lot of people with the hover round. What do they call them? The hover rounds.
Hover rounds, yeah. Hover rounds,
yeah. And I kept. Seth got tired of me complaining to him and calling it the geriatric cruise. He said, "Come on."
But you had a blast.
Let's go outside. Let's go. Come on, take us outside.
What
are you taking? Oh yeah, your room.
And I was just showing the room. If nobody's been on a cruise, I mean, that will cruise. I mean, you go off season, you're going to cruise. You can easily cruise for under $100 a day. Like, and it's one of the best ways to travel.
I think we were under $400. I think we were $350 for the 7 days.
Yeah, probably.
We were so cheap. Now this was 2015, roughly 2015, 2016, in that range.
Here, so this is the hallway. I'm on 1.
Oh, you're all the way down on 1. Well, you get less movement.
But
That's good.
But I'm on a Carnival Spirit, and the comedy club is on the same level.
Is on 1? Really? Wow.
I walked the other side there, and the comedy is right there.
Nice.
We literally 10 steps and won the comedy club.
Nice. You love the comedy club. That's nice.
Oh, yeah. And then 2 is the main area, the main spot. 2 and 3 are the main decks where everything is.
Wow, that must be an older ship or else a newer ship. One of the two.
A little bit older. But you still got Guy's Burger and everything. Like, you still got the more updated stuff, which has been around for a while now. So I'm at the middle of I'm pretty close to the middle, but it is the middle, elevators. And I think Daniel's still in the hot tub too. So maybe we can even see him. I'm gonna try to. Well, we'll try to wait for the glass elevators. Are pretty awesome. You can't. Well, it's not open. I'm just gonna go and get in the elevator since we're getting about that time. We'll see if I lose.
I found the chat. Here's David. I'm here. Here's Margaret. You froze, man. You froze. I can't see anything. You froze. You froze, buddy. Hello? I'm all by myself now. You lost the signal. Well, I might have to finish this up by myself. Margaret, thank you for being here, and David, appreciate you guys. I didn't check the chat till just now, so my apologies for that. Oops, he's gone. He might come back though. Let's see. I'll wait a bit. Here he is. Okay.
Oh, good.
Hey, there you are.
Nice. All right. Awesome.
Did you see Daniel? I heard you call out Daniel, but where is he?
He's probably in the middle. Did he say where he was?
No, I lost you just as. Where was he?
He commented, didn't he? I think he's
probably. There's no. I don't see any comments.
I thought I saw a comment from him.
Not from Daniel. No. David, but not Daniel. Not your.
Okay. That was David. Okay.
Oh, I missed. Okay, I understand what you. Okay, you missed. Kind of a missed signals there. So there you are on the top deck, right? Nice.
Lido, the main deck.
Yeah. Well, there's decks higher, but it's the
that's
where all the pools are.
That's the hot tub we've been hanging out in.
Nice, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, and Daniel is not around. I don't know where he is. So, but yeah.
All right, you want to wrap it up, buddy?
Let's do it, man. Yeah. So that's here. You say I approved this time. I am on a cruise. I've just been in the room. People are like, "You sure he's on a cruise?" I'm just
awesome.
Like in the house. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Another podcast, episode number 12.
Number 12.
Hey,
yes.
We're on fire. We're on fire. Loving it.
We are on fire. Yes.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And please like and share with your friends.